Well, hello everybody. Welcome to the end of December, end of 2024 video, just to wrap up on exactly what's happened. We had a great 2024, 117% return in total on the portfolio, which is just great. December was a knockout month, 24.5%, so another fantastic month. I'm going to start off by looking at the full performance, the closed trades, the open trades, and then I want to go into some of the things we're looking at for January to try and maintain this really outstanding performance. So this is the performance since inception versus the S&P 500 and Alpha Pix, the two benchmarks I choose. As you can see, we've now returned 284% versus 77% and 28%. Very, very pleased with that. Look at this sharp rise though. We can't really guarantee that's going to continue, can we? We must be expecting some kind of pullback fairly soon. None of these things can go exponentially upwards. If we look down at, have a look at this monthly, there we can see the performance by month, and you can see January is off to a bit of a cracking start thanks to a couple of trades doing particularly well. I'll talk about those in a moment. But there's December, 24.8% versus minus 2.5% on the S&P. Unusual for us to beat the S&P when they're negative. We normally either more negative or more positive, but thanks really to one really big trade, the quantum trade D-Wave, we kind of beat everybody really. Let's have a look at the closed trades, because we closed a few in 2024 and one in December. These are our closed trades. As you can see, we were doing pretty well, 15-1 on the reward to risk ratio. There's that big quantum trade, qubits, closing for 622% after only 48 days in December. That's a really big win. And just before that, we had Centrus Energy Lu also closed for 104%. It means we've got a lot of cash on the portfolio, and I've made a few alterations which I've put out on my SubStack newsletter in terms of position side. But there's one thing I want to bring up. A lot of people could criticize me for these closed trades because they didn't do as well as they would have done if I'd left them. If we look at IonQ, I closed those at $10 each for a negative 19% return. IonQ is now over $40, so we missed out on a lot of profit there. We also have, we closed Net Power 840, Elva at 207, and we've re-entered both of those trades at worse positions. So we kind of tied in a bit of loss there, which perhaps we didn't need to. And you can say the same thing for qubits, really. We got it out at 801, but that trade's currently over $9 and was over 10. And so we could have missed out on some profit, but it all comes down to the fact that we're trading emerging technology. Emerging technology is extraordinarily high risk, and we're constantly watching for a couple of wave cycles. We're constantly watching for Gartner's hype cycle, and it's a good time to talk about that. I'm just going to bring that up on the screen now. So this is Gartner's hype cycle for 2022. We've got to remember, in these emerging technologies, they're not yet producing profit. They're not generating revenue. They're a story that might develop into something, and they all typically follow this same hype cycle. I would say now that quantum is up here, or perhaps it's on the way to there, perhaps it's not got there yet. You never know for sure, but certainly the huge growth that we've seen in quantum stocks isn't a reflection of how they've done in terms of their profitability. We can see, look at this. Gartner had NFTs just about to fall off the cliff there, which they did, as we know, in no uncertain terms, went to almost zero. Now, we want to buy these emerging stocks while they're emerging. We want to buy the technology while it's emerging, and we track this technology over this wave, and we're happy to get out when we need to and book in our profits. It does mean that we have to say goodbye to certain technologies. We were big into online education, but that's no longer emerging, so we don't trade any money in that. We made great profits out of that in 2022, trading Stride and Duolingo, a couple of others. Did really well, but it's not emerging anymore, so it's out. EVs, we don't trade them anymore. I think that you can't classify EV as emerging technology. We're still trading electric school buses, or electric buses generally, and with our Bluebird, but this is probably the last year of that. I think we'll see the end of that technology this year, and we'll see new ones coming in. For 2025, we're really looking at generation of electricity. We see great future in generation electricity to provide electricity for all the hyperscale data centers and AI. We're also seeing, I can foresee a really big demand for RF communications for the space technology that we're big into, and we're still in space technology, not coming out of that. And we see great potential for lab grown meat. I think that's going to be emerging technology that we'll be looking to get behind and make some good money off. So let's go back and let's have a look at the open trades and the current positions to see what we're doing there. On the screen now, we've got our current positions, and you can see that I've been adding a number of these things. I've got 2 positions in them now. So Bluebird, Luna, EHang and Elva. When I say Luna, I mean Intuitive Machines, not Lunar Innovations, using their ticker. And they're making huge returns, which is really great. We're really pleased with that. I think we've been doing this adding because we made so much money out of Quantum. There's a lot of money on the account at the moment, so we can increase the positions where it seems suitable. I don't just increase positions generally where it seems a good time to buy. We've recently just added to the most recent one was Arbe, and that's doing particularly well at the moment. And Electrovia is up a tiny bit, so it's going quite well. We have increased the position size to $350 on the demonstration account. So let's have a quick look at the demonstration account now to see how that's doing. On the screen now, we've got the results of the demonstration account. That's an account with Interactive Brokers where I invest $250 every month, and I use it to show how I trade, what I trade, how I change position side, etc. We've invested $3,000 in the first year, another $1,500 in the second year, so $4,500 in total. Currently $9,815 in value, so we've more than doubled the money, which is excellent. And we've got this big cash balance of $2,211 following trades that we've made already this month. I've increased the position size because of that to $350 a month, and we've, as I already said, added to a few accounts. I'll keep updating that through my Substack as we go along, as I take new trades, and as I, if we close any more trades, that balance goes up, I'll increase position size again. So now on the screen, we've got the prospect list for January. These are companies I'm going to look at and hopefully going to invest in. As from the subset, you can see they're from the majority of my current emerging technology I'm interested in. Most of these you'll be familiar with because I've covered them many times. I've got SES back on the screen and Orbi, 2 of the battery stocks, because the battery stocks have taken off this month. SLDP, SES, they're all just skyrocketed, and we've missed out on that. A little bit disappointed we missed out on SES because it is one of the ones that we're following and expecting to buy, but we didn't get in time. But I'm going to look, see if there's a possibility to get in again. Hyliion, looking at Hyliion again, and Centrus and Wave. These are the possibilities of generating electricity, one of the emerging stocks we're really keen on, and to see how those 3 go. Hyliion looks quite interesting. Centrus Energy, quite keen to get back in there if we can. We've also got on the recycling, Pure Cycle, Lycee, about they've all taken off a lot. We're keen with all those who've got buy recommendation. We want to get in there. I'm just going to analyze and see if this is an opportunity for us to do that, to get some profit. Down at the bottom, I'm looking at another one of the quantums, Qubit, quantum computing, Qubit, I suppose, I don't know how to say that, quantum computing. Now they've gone insane, the quantum stocks. I'm not sure I'll be able to buy quantum. Let's have a look at the quantum tracker. Every sector I look at, I have a tracking sheet where I look after the companies and their main criteria and the price. But let's have a look at the price and see what's going on. So this is the chart I wanted to look at. Now look at this. Quantum computing is up 30-fold, in 33.5-fold in 6 months. So if you invested $1, you got $33. That's an unsustainable and incredible jump. Missed out on it completely, but I'm going to have a look, see if there's an opportunity to get in. I'm doubtful, but we'll have a good old look. If we take quantum computing out of it, they're still, even without that, they're still, these quantum stocks are still showing huge growth. Of course, we were into D-Wave qubits, which has done pretty well, really, but again got outpassed by Rigetti. I don't see any future in Rigetti. I'm not going to invest in Rigetti. I've got a big quantum article coming out explaining exactly why I'm not getting into those, but we're not. We're going to look at Qubit and see how that goes. So that's all the prospects for this month and possibly this year. I hope that they're all going to go well. Should be some great trades, I think, in January. So that's December and 2024 done and dusted. Fantastic month, fantastic year, loads of prospect for January in 2025, already showing some great returns. If you want to get my trading list, don't forget to subscribe either to this YouTube channel or subscribe to my newsletter where I put out every trade that I take. I hope that's great. I hope you've enjoyed that. Look forward to speaking to you all later in the month. I've got a video coming up on electricity generation in the middle of the month. We'll have the wrap up at the end and perhaps another interview as well. I'm hoping to get an important interview. Haven't got it tied down yet, but I'm really hoping for the end of the month. I think you'll enjoy that. Thanks for your time, everybody. Speak to you all soon.